The biggest sales of the year are right around the corner, and I've got the early access scoop. So if you're interested in seeing what they are and what products you should pick up, just stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're talking Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. So I put together a list of the brands that I really love, and they also had to have really good Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. When I say really good, I mean different than what we've seen all year. So let's say for brand X, if they've had 20% off at, say, the recent Sephora sale, it would have to be more than that. So these are sales that I think are like going to be the highest percentage off of all year, and they're brands I really believe in. So we're gonna do a little get ready with me. I have nothing on my face right now, so I'll talk about the different products as we go through so you guys can see some of my favorites from the brand. But all these brands have, great products across the board. And of course, I can't go through every single product. We'd be here all day. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to take the Calm the Red Down. This is by InnBeauty, and I'm going to put it on my face. If you've never seen this product before, basically it's a dual chamber. One side is a redness repair barrier treatment, and the other side is a corrector, the green side. So I put this on when my skin is acting up, and for some reason today it is. I don't know exactly why, but it's redder than it usually is. And so I'm putting on a little bit of this just to calm the red down. The InnBeauty has amazing products, Extreme Cream, this, the Bright and Tight, whole bunch of good stuff. They're going to have their sale 20% off when you spend $50, which has been matched at, say, Sephora if you were a Rouge member. However, it's also going to be 25% off if you spend $100 or more. So if you're like me and you stock up on, a whole bunch of their products, anything over $100 is going to be 25% off. That's the highest I've seen for InnBeauty anytime this year. And like I said, this product is one of my favorite, but they have so many good products across the board that I highly recommend them. And even the 20% is higher than a lot of you would see because you aren't Rouge at the Sephora sale. Now I'm going to put some depuffing pads on my eyes while we talk about the next brand. The next brand is the sponsor of today's video, which I greatly appreciate, and that's CURRENTBODY, which I've been using for quite some time. Before we get into the rest of the Black Friday deals, I have to talk about one that's absolutely worth grabbing while it's on sale, because I've never seen it discounted this much. It's the CURRENTBODY LED Red Light Mask Series 2 and their Neck and Decollage Mask Series 2, which I have been testing together. You probably already know that CURRENTBODY makes some of the most effective at-home LED devices on the market. And this combination of the face mask and neck mask is absolutely phenomenal. They use clinically proven red and near infrared light to help boost collagen, firm the skin, and improve texture and tone. And guys, this is not just hype. These wavelengths are backed by a lot of research, and CURRENTBODY's masks have been used by dermatologists and in professional settings. It's a very flexible medical grade silicone. It sits very close to the skin, which means better light absorption in less time. And the updated power base charges faster and holds longer, so it's actually easier to use regularly. And you can just walk around your house with it. Once you have it charged, you use the power bank, you can go do other things. Oftentimes I'm feeding the dogs or doing dishes or whatever I need to do while I'm using the LED masks. And the neck and décolleté mask, which I call the neck and deck mask, is honestly the product I didn't know I needed until I tried it. If you're already using a face LED mask, you know that the results kind of stop at your jawline, and then you can start seeing, at least I started to see, the effects of aging on my neck. And so this one actually targets the fine lines and uneven tone on my neck using the same red and near infrared wavelengths. You can use both masks at the same time for a full treatment in about 10 minutes. You can scroll on your phone, you can edit a video, which I've actually done, or just relax while it does its thing. I mean, sometimes I try to meditate, although I'm terrible at meditating. I've been using the two masks for months now, and I've noticed my skin does look brighter and smoother, especially around my jawline. It's not an instant fix, guys. This is like, everything that I talk about. Unless you're going into a doctor's office to get plastic surgery, these things take time. But it is a real skincare investment. So if you've been waiting to pick this up, this is the time, because it is the best sale that they're going to have all year for Black Friday. The LED red light mask that I'm wearing in this video is usually $469.99, so $470. The Black Friday price is going to be $375.99 with my code, which I have on the screen right now. The mask, the neck and deck mask, as I call it, is usually $420, and its sale price is $335.99, so $336. The best deal is if you buy the neck and deck mask and the face mask together, it's almost 30% off with my code, from $888 to $639.99. This is going to be the best deal that you're going to see all year round. These are really luxury level skincare devices that actually deliver visible results, and I think they're 100% worth it while they're on sale. Thank you very much, CURRENTBODY, for sponsoring this part of the video. And if you have any questions about the devices, just let me know. All right, let's get back to the rest of the beauty deals because there are some really good ones this year. Now, if you have any questions about CURRENTBODY, certainly let me know. I greatly appreciate them for sponsoring this part of today's video. They're an excellent brand and they are expensive. They really do work, and I've used them, the masks, for months now. So this is the highest percentage off you're gonna see all year. And if you are interested in buying these types of products, definitely buy them on sale because they are spendy. All right, so next, this is BeautyBio. These are the bright eyes. These can be used around your smile lines. They can be used around your eyes. They're called bright eyes, but you don't have to use them underneath your eyes if you feel like you want to put them here instead. Basically, you just put them on clean, dry skin like any other, eye patch that you would use. And the idea is it depuffs and brightens the area. And it also it makes it look like it filled in lines, which is why if you put it here and you feel like you have really strong smile lines, it has a restorative colloidal silver, which helps smooth the appearance of the lines and the wrinkles. It does seem to actually work. Again, I don't know how, but it does. And then illuminating pearls help the eyes seem brighter with a renewed luminosity. It's pearlescence. And there's natural collagen to firm and tighten, so if you use them over time. You can store them in the fridge and you can get sort of that depuffing, cooling kind of feel. Even if they're not in the fridge though, they do feel very cooling and I do really like them. BeautyBio also has these rollers, these dermaplane rollers. There's ones that you can actually use under your eyes. They did send them to me and I will be talking about those in upcoming videos, but I like to do those in short so you guys can see them. Also, another product is the Swipe and Glow peel pads. These are really good. I like these. There's a couple of pads that I use. These I like because they are multi-acid resurfacing. They have AHAs, BHAs, PHAs in them, and they have a clarifying niacinamide, so vitamin B. They are actually very comfortable for what they are for an exfoliating pad. Don't get them too close to your eyes, but I do think the BeautyBio brand has a lot of great products. There's a lot of great tools that I've used. They have like a clarifying tool that I've used before and a mister. They have a lot of great stuff. And they are going to have a number of different sales. So from November 21st, and I'll make sure the information is down below, November 21st to December 2nd, it's gonna be 30% off site-wide. But Ulta Beauty is also gonna have 30% off from the 23rd to the 1st. Then Sephora is gonna have 25% off 24th through the 1st. And Nordstrom is gonna have 25% off the 19th through the 3rd. Now, you might say, well, Jen, why would I wanna buy from Nordstrom or Sephora when it's only 25% off and Ulta and BeautyBio have 30? Well, some people do like shopping at Sephora to get points at Sephora, or Nordstrom, which I hear a lot about the notes. So if you're somebody who's collecting notes, or it's like a 10-point note day or whatever during those dates, the 19th through December 3rd, if you get 2 notes or 3 notes per dollar spent, even though it's 25% off, it might actually be, a better deal. So BeautyBio is doing a lot of different things during those days. Make sure you can come back and check this video anytime and I'll make sure that the dates are below. But I really like a number of different products from BeautyBio, and I'll make sure that I continue to post things on Instagram and on YouTube Shorts so you can see the different tools that they have. But I think they have a really good brand. Chantecaille. So Chantecaille I've talked about endlessly, right? I mean, you guys have heard me talk about Chantecaille since I started my channel. And one of my favorite products from Chantecaille is the Sheer Glow Face Tint. It's just a great product for most people. This is the pink one. This is the really light one. There's a gold one and there's a bronze one. The bronze one is a little bronze for me, but not not too much, just a little bit. This one is perfect. It's like the perfect kind of tint that I would want because it's a pearly pink. So I love that. But you just put it on your face. You can use a brush like I'm using now. You can just use your fingers. You don't need a lot of it. It's very emollient. It feels great. It feels exactly like the Future Skin foundation, which is also another favorite of mine. So if you are somebody who has, you know, very sensitive skin, if you have rosacea, if your skin gets warm or hot or uncomfortable, these two products together are fantastic. I have heard from some of you, interestingly enough, that the Future Skin is not emollient enough for you, which I find interesting because my skin is pretty dry. What I would say about the Chantecaille, if that's still not emollient enough for you, I would try Jones Road, the WTF, which is way too emollient for me. But I find when I wear this that it's, you know, very emollient, and like almost at the end of the day, especially during the summer, it can be a little too much. So if your skin is drier than my skin, the Jones Road might be something that you want to take a look at. For me, it's a little, it's too emollient. It's too sticky. But again, I've heard from some of you saying it's not emollient enough. The tinted moisturizer that Chantecaille has is excellent. It actually has more coverage than the Future Skin, and I wear them both in Aura, which is the lightest shade. So I'm going to use that one today so you guys can see what you think of this versus the Future Skin, which I have, you know, used many, many times. They're both great products. I wouldn't suggest one over the other. I would just say that the Just Skin versus the Future Skin, like I said, it has more coverage to it. It's not heavy. I mean, it's a tinted moisturizer, so it's still very light, but it does have more coverage than the Future Skin does. And if you're wondering what's on my lips as I do all of this, that is Black Honey from Clinique. And Clinique, I don't know if their sale will still be going on. I think it's still going on when this video goes up. I hope it is. You know, I talked about Estee Lauder not too long ago, the Repair and Lift Eye, and the one for the face. There's a reason these types of products become iconic in the first place. And I know Clinique is like an older brand. It certainly doesn't have as much, you know, hype, as much marketing than some brands nowadays. But the Clinique products are extremely good. The Black Honey is great, and it looks really good on practically anybody. And I've been using it for, you know, forever. The new shades, they have like a pink honey and then like I forget what, the tan honey or something, and they're all really good. It's just it's a really easy plum, you know, and of course Black Honey, because it looked so dark in the tube, but looks really beautiful on the skin, works on most people. It's just an easy product to go to. And then the cleanser, the balm, that balm is very much like the Elemis balm. Elemis is greasier, and the Clinique is like harder, almost more like, it looks more like coconut wax. It's not, but it looks more like that. It has no fragrance at all, the Clinique. So let's say you love the Elemis, but the fragrance gets to you. The Clinique is, it cleanses beautifully. You can put it on your eyes. In fact, you can put it right on your eyelashes. It actually supposedly softens and conditions your eyelashes. And it's fine for people who have sensitive eyes. I mean, I've never had a problem with it. So the Clinique products are great. And the blush, hopefully I'll have soon so I can compare it to the Hermes blush. So continuing with the Chantecaille. So you can see like how that covers. It is more skin-like than the Future Skin. The Future Skin is more dewy, actually, than the Just Skin. I would honestly tell you that if you're like trying to figure out which one to go with, if your skin is more sensitive, and I mean, they're both good for sensitive skin, but if you have more like redness or warmth or like irritation, I would go with the Future Skin because it has a cooling gel, and the tinted moisturizer doesn't have that same kind of feel to it. But you know, honestly, both products are excellent. Now, Chantecaille is going to have their Black Friday sale. They've had a couple of like, they had the Singles Day sale. This sale is Black Friday sale. I will have a code. I think, like in previous years, there is a Loyal code, which is 30% off. My code will be 25% off. If you're not a Loyal member, the best you would be able to get is the 25% with my code. But if you are a Loyal member and they offer you 30%, go with the 30%. I appreciate the loyalty, but I mean, use my links if you'd like. That would be great. But make sure that you get the best discount. Now, here's the thing. It's going to be before the public. The public sale goes November 27th through the 30th. The private sale will be the 24th through the 26th. It'll be before Black Friday. So again, I'll make sure this stuff is down below, and I will post about it like in a short or Instagram reel or something. But this will be your advance notice to know about the sale. We're also going to take the new Chantecaille. This is the holiday collection blush. This is the highlighting blush. I think it's called Radiant Blush. And I'm going to use one of the brushes from another brand that's going to have a fantastic Black Friday sale, and that's BKBeauty. BKBeauty was kind enough to send me a whole bunch of brushes that I did not have, including the Nikki LaRose Pro Artist series. So this is the first one. This is the Pro Artist series, and I also have volume 2, so I'm going to be playing around with all of these. Now, I already have the Angie Hot and Flashy and all the core brushes. If you haven't used BKBeauty brushes, you are missing out. They have fantastic brushes. I mean, seriously, I am very picky about my brushes, and these are all excellent brushes. They have a beautiful feel to them, all the different shapes. So there's different, ways to use these. I honestly think that if you can't find a brush that you need from a BKBeauty line, you don't need the brush. Like, it covers everything that you could possibly want. And if you want a brush short or something that says, hey, these are the brushes that I would suggest for the following products, let me know and I'll do one. Because there is another brand that I don't know what their Black Friday sale is, so it's not included in here, but I will be talking about some new brushes because I've fallen in love with 2 brushes that are new to this other brand that I don't know what their Black Friday deal is, so I can't talk about it, but I do love their new brushes that I really, really love. So if you want a brush video, let me know. So BKBeauty is going to have 30% off, and the sale is going to kick off November 18th. So it's going to be right around the corner from when this video goes up. Victoria Beckham, I'm going to use her new Cocoa Pave liner. So here's the deal with her sale. I have talked to a bunch of you out there, and this is what we have unearthed from last year. So the Black Friday sale was 20% off, just like it is right now, because right now as I'm filming this, there's a 20% off sale on Victoria Beckham. So the Black Friday sale will be the same. However, and I'm going to pull out another one of the BKBeauty brushes to smudge this, because the Victoria Beckham liners are excellent to smudge. The other ones that are great to smudge are Sarah Creels. Hopefully you pick those up during the Sephora sale because they're sold out. So there was a code last year and a 25% off one day, and it was Cyber Monday. So we are, hoping that we will see the same thing this year. So that means it's going to be 20% off for, Black Friday. When that will actually start, I don't know yet, but I'm going to guess probably before Thanksgiving, maybe the day after. We'll see, because everybody's starting early this year. And then on Cyber Monday, so the Monday after Thanksgiving, that's the day that you guys want to look for the 25% off. Now, if I see it, I will tell you immediately. I will post it. I will put it on Discord for members. I will let you all know. And from what we saw last year, it was one day. That was it. It was just one day. So it's not going to last long, guys. It's going to be, very, very short. So if there is a 25% off sale, it's unlikely to be more than that one day if that's what they did last year. Now, while I curl my eyelashes, I want to talk about these earrings. So these are R8s. I've talked about these repeatedly. They look way more expensive than they are. And R8 is going to have a fantastic sale. It's going to be with code BF30 ! 30% off. Now, I don't know if my code will stack on top. I have a code Jennifer20 that you get 20% off on top of usually the normal codes, but I would be surprised if 20% off of the 30%. But go ahead and try it. I'll make sure the stuff's down below. I have codes for some of the other brands as well. I will make sure my codes are down below, so for each one of the brands. But again, I don't know if they're going to stack. There's one that I know that absolutely will stack, and we'll talk about that in a second. But for the others, I'm not sure. This eyelash curler is a new eyelash curler from Rephr. Now, like I said, I don't know if Rephr is having a particular Black Friday sale. But what I will say is that they have introduced 2 new eyelash curlers, and they are like for different shapes of your eye, which I think is really interesting. This is the 18R, which I think is meant for the rounder, narrower eye. So I really like it. I think it does a great job with my eyelashes. I have I think the other one's a 20. I will try that one as well. I don't think that one is meant for my eye shape as much, but very impressed. Very impressed with this. Now again, I don't know about their Black Friday, but I did want to just sort of put that in very quickly because I do love the Rephr brand. I'm going to use the Victoria Beckham mascara. This is the Vast Lash. This is my favorite. I like her other one too, but the Vast Lash is my favorite. And I mean, I think there'll be other sales. I think what's going to happen, guys, is, you know, the brands will kind of see how their numbers are after the first couple weeks of November, and if they are, you know, trending in a certain direction, we will see even more sales or heavier sales as we get in past Thanksgiving and then into December. What I would say though, I have to say, like, I am shocked at how early it is this year, because these Black Friday sales, almost all of them start long before Black Friday. And many brands have been having sales that have started at the beginning of November, including Sephora sale, Merit, Clinique. You know, all of these have started long before a traditional Black Friday. So I feel like people are, you know, purchasing earlier than they have in previous years. I would also say, and I'm going to talk about some, you know, clothing brands in a second, I would also check out brands that you might not like normally think of, or at least maybe when you don't normally think of with me with like luxury, because one of the things that I've talked about is incorporating luxury into like every day. So you have your luxury brands like Chanel, you have your Chanel jacket from 1985, let's say, but then underneath you wear a Gap t-shirt. You don't, not everything has to be, you know, the most expensive thing. And when you're talking like basics like t-shirts or sweatpants or any of the things that, you know, frankly, you're going to wear a lot and you want them to be well made and good quality, but you don't need them to be a $2,000 t-shirt. I mean, I love Miu Miu. I think they have a lot of great stuff, but I was looking at one of the t-shirts they had and it was like $1,800. I'm like, I mean, I'm sure it's a well-made t-shirt, but how much better can it be? And the Gap has a lot of really cute stuff, actually. There's these soft, I'll make sure there's the name down below, but it's like the soft sweater pants. They look great on. They're super comfortable. Again, I'll have some posts about some of these like clothing pieces and stuff, and they're gonna be great sales for them. So they've already started with like 20% off. I saw one, buy one piece, get half off the other. So like take a look at brands like that. Just, you know, J. Crew, Gap, Athleta, Lululemon, like they're having sales in addition to the luxury brands that don't technically do sales. So during the holiday season, when you can take advantage of basics, do it. So that's one of my favorite mascaras. I love the Vast Lash. I think it's excellent. And this curler, it's a really good curler. Spiritual Gangster. So if you don't know Spiritual Gangster, I've talked about them before. They are a casual, upscale casual brand. And I love their sweatshirts. I love their sweatpants. They have some really cool, like unique pieces that I've really enjoyed. They have one that has a dragon on it, which I will post me wearing. I love that piece. It's like a sweatshirt and a hoodie and a pair of sweatpants. They're so cute. But they have a lot of other things too. Like they have pajamas. They have a great blend. They have a great line. They are going to have their biggest sale of the year, and it's a huge one. It's 40% off. 40%. It's from the 21st to December 3rd, and I don't think I've ever seen 40% off during sale. I mean, I've seen like end of the year sales that are 50 to 60% off, but this is new pieces too at 40% off. So if you wanted to check out Spiritual Gangster, like I said, I'll have me posing with some of the pieces. You can see how they fit. This one is a medium and it's still pretty big on me. They do run oversized most of the time. So if you have questions about like fit, just let me know. You can DM me and I'm happy to talk about it. Frank and Eileen and Veronica Beard are two brands that I'm keeping an eye on. I've put things in my cart. I haven't heard about if they're having sales or not. I'd be surprised if they didn't, given all the, gossip I've heard about all the brands having sales, but I haven't heard anything yet. So as soon as I do, I will let you know. InnBeauty, which actually stands for Empowered by You. It's a woman-led company, which I think is fantastic. They are going to have an early Black Friday sale. So it's going to be the 19th through the 25th, and it's going to be 30% off. Now, if you have not tried InnBeauty lingerie, bras, panties, they have really, really good stuff. Now, if you're built like me and you have a bigger bust, but you want something that's comfortable and isn't going to strangle you, this is a brand to check out. They really are good. They're really comfortable. I am not going to get up here and pose in a bra. It's just not going to happen, guys. I'm from New England. We don't do that. It's not me. But I will tell you, honestly, the bras are really comfortable and they don't have a wire digging. Like, you don't have to deal with any of that. But they're also supportive and they come in fun colors and they're a reasonable price point for what they are. I would strongly recommend them. And I really like the brand. I think the ethos, the vibe of the brand is great. And they really, because they're run by women, they understand women, they fit really well. So check out the brand. It's definitely worth it. And again, 30% off. That's a fantastic time to try them. So the 19th through the 25th. And last but not least, I want to talk about a brand that I haven't talked as much about. And this is Callison. Now, I've talked about Callison before, and I've mentioned it because they sent me some products and I really like their serum and their creams. I think they actually work quite well. They're very expensive. I'm actually going to have a skincare video where I talk about a bunch of products that I have tried recently. Ones I like, ones I don't. And to be honest, it's not by brand. Generally, it's like the brand will be X brand and I'll love certain things from it, but not other things. I feel that way about most things. Like I very rarely will I find a brand that I love everything they do. There's usually like, oh, I love their cleansing balm, or I love their moisturizer, or I love their retinol. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of thing. The Callison makes excellent products and the serum and the cream are really good. I think there's other ones that are also really good, similar price point. But the product that I want to talk about is this advanced hair care system. So what this is a 6-week hair restoration program. It contains PTT6 that stimulates hair growth by activating the hair follicles and managing signs of inflammation that causes hair shedding. I have an autoimmune condition that causes a lot of inflammation in my body, which is why I agreed to try this, because I was like, I had started to see loss here. I have to say, it does seem to be working. Now, I am very skeptical about, any of this stuff, but my hair is shedding less. I'm using a lot of different things, including vitamins, which I'll talk about, but this actually seems to be scientifically backed and I'm impressed. Now, you do have to use it for 6 weeks. So it's not something that's gonna work immediately. Basically, there's a serum that you kind of stamp into your hair. And what I've been doing is just putting it in the front because that seems to be where my issue is. Does seem to be working. I have more white and gray hair. You might have noticed that I have more roots than I usually do. And it's because I seem to have more hair than I usually do because it's the same amount of time to get my hair done. So again, I don't know. I'm just saying it's working for me right now. That's all I have to say I am impressed with it. So I am going to keep using it. There's a lot of information on the site. You can take a look at it yourself and decide if it's something you want to do. But anyway, I actually have been very impressed with the product. And there is a sale, is why I wanted to mention it, going on right now. So it is going to be for every $150 you spend, you get the serum, or for every $220 you spend, you get the multi-action cream. That's the skincare, which I think is excellent. And I'll talk about that in the skincare video. For every purchase of the advanced hair care system, you get a free advanced hair care system, the 2 5 ml bottles. For each bottle is like a week. Or you can get the restorative hydration cream, which is skincare. On top of that, you get 15% off with my code. So the hair care system, I think, is $360. So it'd be 15% off that. And then you'd get 2 ampules, the 5 ml, which is a really good deal. It is, like I said, it's not a cheap product. You're doing twice a week using half an ampule each time. So it's 1 ampule per week. So a box of ampules will last 6 weeks. That's it. 6 weeks will be enough to see a difference if it's going to work for you. But again, you know, then you have to do maintenance. They haven't cured, at least at this point, hair loss or hair shedding. I feel like it's helping with the core problem that I have, which is inflammation and shedding. I don't know what it would work like if you're experiencing like real balding. That's not what's happening to me. Mine has to do with my autoimmune condition and perimenopause, frankly. That's the 2 reasons. I've talked to a doctor about it, talked to a dermatologist about it, and it's similar to the kinds of things that they do actually in office. So that was one of the reasons I was willing to try it. It's a great sale, so I will make sure all those details are below. There's definitely going to be other brands that have sales, but I would say a couple things. One, don't buy something on sale just because it's on sale. Like, these are all brands that I believe in, I can stand behind, I've used, I've tested, and I can say, yes, they have worked for me, or I really love them, or, you know, whatever. So just because it's on sale doesn't mean it's a good product. That's the first thing. Second of all, when they say sale, make sure it's a really good sale for that brand. Like, make sure you're getting a good deal for that brand. Not every brand is you're going to see 30% off. Like CURRENTBODY, I have never seen them at 20% off. So, well, last year, Black Friday, they had 20% off, but that's the only time I ever see that kind of discount because people buy those products all the time. They're very highly respected, and so they don't generally do sales. There's a lot of brands like that. Chanel technically doesn't have any sales. Technically, they do have a sale, but you get the gist. So, you know, make sure you're getting a good sale, a good deal. Generally, that means above 25%. Not always, like I just said, but if it's not, you know, and you don't need it, or you don't feel like you need it, which we don't really need any of these things, right? I'd wait. I think we are going to see some like really deep discounts in December and January, but it's going to be for things that weren't popular. That's really the truth of it. That's what always happens. I start putting things in my cart for like gifts and stuff, and then I buy them on sale. But things for me, I start putting them in my cart now. And I you know, make sure that I get pinged when it goes on sale and check. So a lot of times I don't buy, like, especially clothing, until like January, because that's when the deep discounts are. So I will certainly let all of you know if I see things for sales. Veronica Beard, like I said, there's a purse that I love. I've talked about it. It's not on sale right now. I'm not buying it. I just went through all my closets and my beauty, and I am literally having people come to the house to take things away. So I'm only allowed to add things if, you know, it's fills some void that I now have in my collections. And let me tell you guys, there's not a lot of voids. So I know that we are all trying to just be very deliberate and very careful with our money and buy things, not only things that are really worth it, but at a deep discount. So these are the sales that I saw that I think are really worth it. These are products that I believe in. And if you have any questions for me, DM me. If you're a member, the easiest way to get a hold of me is on Discord. Just at me and I will see it pop up and I can get right back to you. So I'd love to hear if there's sales that you've heard of that I have not heard of yet. Because, you know, I'm sure there'll be something that pops up that will surprise me. I will let you all know when I see them. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video really soon.